Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by todderbert. In front of us, we have the LITEMALADSP MLite-880. This is an AM, FM stereo, long wave, VHF, Airband, single sideband, shortwave, SDR digital portable radio. You can find this selling at electevolve.com for $180. Hopefully it'll be on Amazon soon. I'll have links down in the comment section if you so desire the radio. It comes in a simple brown box. MLite-880. Here's a picture of it. Think of this radio as the light version of the DSP-2 luxury radio that I reviewed. Yeah, instead of spending $400 or $500 on a radio like that, you can spend under $200 and have similar performance. Love it. Okay, so yeah, everything's simple box. Everything's out of here. Let's take a look at what was inside. So inside we get to start a show. There we go. Very simple, plain, and I like that. Everything is labeled nicely, so yeah, we'll go over that in a bit. What else we get in the box? We get a charging cable and data cable. Use it to charge your radio and interface with the PC to update the firmware. Next, they give us this cool little cable. It's a TRS to SMA, female. And this is nice because this radio provides BIS-T power, and this allows it to deliver it. You can also use just TS connections, tip sleeve, for your simple passive loops or non-active devices that don't require BIS-T power. So yeah, this is kind of neat that they gave this to us. And we get the product manual. Now I'm going to spend some time with the manual because there's a lot going on in here. I'll definitely miss something with this radio because there's just so much. I'm just going to kind of flip the pages here. If I notice something, I'll mention it. But that's pretty straightforward. That's what you see when you boot up the screen. It's got this dot matrix display. Pretty sweet. And what the different symbols mean. Nice. We're going to keep going here. And there you go. Some of the options the keys do. Kind of actually shows quite a bit what the keys do. We're going to go over that. We got steps. Of course, that changes depending on what band you're on. And then you got mode select. And then over here we have some more information. Again, I'm just flipping it rather quickly. This is good for posterity in case you lose your manual or you can't find the manual online. You always have it in this video. And I don't take my videos down. They'll stay on YouTube forever until they close the doors. There you go. And if they do, maybe I'll move on to a different service too. Anyway, there you go. You can enter the frequencies manually. That's nice. Okay, you have visual settings. You can change the spectrum. So the spectrum is pretty cool. Similar to the DSP-2 in a way. You just can't adjust the width of it, unfortunately. So you can't adjust the resolution. Wish you could, but that's all right. Still shows what's going on. There you go. These are really nice. You got filters you can set, customizable, and of course you can adjust your AGC, which I thought was awesome. It has also instead of manual, there's different modes as well. There you go. You got your noise blanker mode, which I haven't found myself needing, but there's there. And plus you got EQ. Now it does record, yes, but it's not the greatest. So don't expect me using it too often. It requires a bit of work to get the level set right, and you'll be doing post-processing to get the best level. Okay, memories are cool. You get 500 of them, and you can name them with an 8-character descriptor. So I like that, in case I forget to mention it. We're almost through here. There you go. You can edit it in the memories. If I remember, I'll try to do a memory, but it's pretty simple. Just remember when you enter the memory mode, asterisk is your friend. That's the one that lets you do a lot of things. It lets you, enter the editing screen. It lets you edit and add the memory. So just remember asterisk is your key that you want to use. So broadcast bands, okay, right there. Cool. That's what the radio has. Then it has an amateur band list under the band button. Covers all the way up to 2 meters, as you can see there. Love it. CBs by itself. And 10 meters. That's cool. I was on 10 meters the other day picking up some ham radio activity. I don't usually spend much time up there, but I'm going to have to now that I was picking up people talking. So that was neat. And of course, you got your basic FM bands. There you are. Okay, cool. And then their information there. Okay, that's all done. Okay, let's get to the radio. So I'm going to zoom on down. Get up close and personal here. I'll probably change the backdrop a little bit because this screen is rather bright and annoying. Kind of dulls everything else out, but It's the only way to really see it, so we'll have to put something on the back. So what we have for dimensions, 6 1/4 inches in length, including the tuning knob here. We have a height of 4 1/4 inches, and then we have a depth front to back of 1 3/8 of an inch. Not too bad. Decent sized radio. I got little guys off to the side here. What I usually have in my CC pocket. Give you an idea. It's not a gigantic radio by all means, but does quite a bit. There you go. CC pocket. What else do we got handy? I usually have like a Skywave hanging around here. Yeah. CC Skywave 2 in the house. I guess I better bring this up a little bit so you can kind of see it in frame. There you go. Again, yeah. I'd say this is about the size of an 880 Texan. Yep. There you go. And then what else do we have? We have a deck of cards, of course. Iron Man. He's the man with the master plan. He can spin it like no one can. He loves his awesome radios from LITEMALADSP land. He's Iron Man. Tuning it faster than anyone can. Yeah. Iron Man, like radio. I have fun with that. Anyway. Okay, so there's a lot to cover with this radio. We're going to zoom it on down and go over features. So let's go ahead and touch on everything real quick. Now this is going to be a deep dive into this radio. I don't know how long this video is going to run, but you can always fast forward. So starting to the left-hand side, we have our antenna jack. And as I mentioned, it works with passive loops, active loops, long wires. Also provides the bias T power with that adapter. That's nice. The radio, you actually hit a button to activate it. It's not always on, which is good. You can set it to high Z or 50 ohm as well. Do note, if you switch to bias T power, automatically switches the radio to 50 ohm mode and stays there. If you switch to bias T power off, it stays on 50 ohms. And if you hook up a passive loop, it will be weaker than it used to be, or if you're just using the telescopic. So remember, if you do use bias T power and then you decide not to, make sure you switch back to high Z connections for your passive antennas. So we got this soft touch plastics. I'm not really a fan of it. I think it's like more of a matte finish, but it might be that soft touch stuff, or it might get sticky over time. I don't think it will, but there's a possibility. Go to the front, we have a high gloss area. In this high gloss area, I'm going to see if I got something to point with here. Looking for something. Got a pencil here somewhere. I got a pencil right here. I think that'll work, right? Okay, so we have a light that lights up here. That's our bias T power indicator. Lights up blue when the bias T power is active. Of course, our title. Over here, we have a light that lights up. That's the charge status indicator. This turns red when it's hooked up to power and turns green when it's done charging. Next to it, we have a Bluetooth indicator, which indicates it's transmitting Bluetooth audio. Yes, this says Bluetooth transmission. That's great. So if you have wireless earbuds or you have an external Bluetooth speaker, you may use it with this radio. By all means, it's awesome. Over here, we have our 2 3/4 inch in length dot matrix LCD. Speaker down here is 1 3/4 inches. Kind of measured it through the speaker grill. We got plastic there. Now we have a bunch of buttons. So let's kind of zoom on down to those buttons. A lot going on with those. So numeric keypad for direct entry frequencies. Now if you look, there is a little menu item for each button. And they do quite a bit. And I like it. It's all straightforward. You don't really need the manual. Just look at these buttons. If you want to change the step, well, just hit 1. Radio's on, just automatically goes to the step menu. Pick which step you want with the corresponding key. It's that simple, because there's a lot of step values with the radio. Now, when you're an Airband, it has all the traditional stepping you want. Same with 2 meter. You'll be able to access every single frequency you need to on those bands. It's very important. People ask it all the time. It does have 6.3, does have 8 point something or other, but I'll show it to you, hopefully, when I turn it on. Mode button, we have the different mode modulations, AM, upper sideband, lower sideband, synchronous AM, CW. You get the drift. Radio settings, your basic radio settings, I'll show you when I turn the radio on. Frequency set, you can set the radio frequency. Just hit that button, enter your frequency, and then off you go. It takes a little bit more than that, but again, you put the number in. Typically, you have to put a decimal point in with the asterisk, and then over here you do, I think it's megahertz or kilohertz, or at least 2 buttons, and then it goes to that frequency. Visual lets you change the spectrum, lets you do different things with the backlight. The only thing you can't do with this backlight is turn it completely off, which is kind of a bummer, but we'll get to it later. Audio, you have your bandwidth in there. You have 3 of them customizable on AM and 3 on single sideband, which is really nice. Record function, like I said, it records in a wave format, which is good. It's 1300 kilobits per second at 41 kilohertz range. It's okay. It's, like I said, it records line level. Sometimes it's too loud, sometimes it's too quiet. You really have to play around with it to get it right. If you're on a particular station all the time, you'll probably get that set pretty well, but otherwise, I don't know. I'd rather just use headphone jack and record it with a different device. Here we have channel memory, so that's a simple one. Hit this to access your presets, scroll around with the tuning wheel, pick the one you want to use, or add presets as well using this button. And of course, asterisk is your friend while you're adding presets. Use the asterisk to help you add the presets and edit them. 9 lets you turn the display on and off. Important if you're using the telescopic antenna or a antenna that's attached to the radio real close to the display. That lets you get interference away from the screen. This does produce a little bit of interference, unfortunately, when you're a medium wave. So if you're using an external loop, you probably won't have that problem whatsoever. But if you do, hit 9, turn it off. Again, I mentioned asterisk as a decimal point. 0 accesses that huge band menu you saw, where you go with broadcast bands, your amateur bands, and then to your VHF bands. And we have the enter button for confirmations. Over here, A, B, C, D, awesome. A lets you go forward or back. Same with B on menu choices. If you look underneath here, we have little symbols. We have a headphone speaker, so you can change from headphone speaker mode, or mute. So if you press and hold A, it'll mute the audio. B hits the squelch, so you can tap it to turn squelch on, and tap it to turn it off, and hold it to access the squelch menu. Same thing with noise reduction. On C, press that button to turn on noise reduction, long press to adjust the threshold of the noise reduction. And then down here is D, return. Nice. Yeah, a lot going on here. We're going to cover quite a bit with this radio. Right-hand side of the radio, we have the tuning knob. Now, it's not fantastic. It's plastic. It's like a fast, slow deal, and you will find yourself like skipping frequencies or not going to that frequency. So it is a little tedious using this. It's not the best implementation of this, but yeah. And they put the volume on it too. I'm not a fan of that either. They have room down here for a volume. I wish they would have put a volume here. Being on here, it's a pain. For me anyway. If I'm cruising through and adjusting my volume all the time, yeah, you'll get to be like, what the frick? Because you'll want to turn the volume and then you're turning the frequency, or you want to turn the frequency, you're turning the volume because you forgot to set it back. It's annoying, but it's push button. Headphone jack. So yeah, it's gold plated, looking pretty good. Experience on there. What can you expect? I usually like to go over this. Headphone experience. It does have a moderate low level hiss, unfortunately. So if you like your low volume, you're going to not be happy with the hiss on it. But if you turn up the volume a bit, it kind of goes away. You have FM stereo, of course, but it's all right. FM is not the greatest saving grace. The biggest is everything else. VHF, 2 meter. When you're listening to that, it's low neutral tone, which isn't bad at all. FM expects strong lows, weak mids, strong highs. As you can tell, when you say weak mids, it's kind of tinny sounding on FM. So you can use the EQ mode to help that out. AM, shortwave, and airband expect a nice mid-range neutral tone and medium wave. Just amazing sounding audio when using voice modes. There's a USB charge jack, so when you plug it in to charge it, it charges the battery here at 1 amp charge rate. And I'll show you that battery in a moment. And also, of course, you can interface with the computer. Top of the radio, we have our micro SD card slot. I put mine own in there. They don't come with it, so I put a 16 gigabyte. It works. That's for mainly the record feature. On-off slider, which is made of plastic. I wish that was aluminum, but you get what you get. The antenna is 28 inches and rotates, swivels up, and of course clears. Got a little notch here, so you can use the stand and have it come up properly. Flipping the radio to the back side, we got some venting here. The kick-out stand, which is rather robust. I like that. It's a nice monster. Not a weenie one, so yeah. Liking that quite a bit. And of course, you can look and see some band coverage information if you didn't see that in the manual. We have long wave up to the top of the shortwave band. And over here for FM, 65 to 108. And then we have the airband, 118. It goes into 2 meter up to 148 megahertz, as you can see. Your modulation types. And the battery is a 21700 unprotected button top. So I guess I'll just lay this flat and show that to you. Pop this open. Door comes off. Wish it was captured. That'd have been nice. And as you can see, it's a 5,000 milliamp hour variety. And it's just a simple flat top with a button top added to it. So, yeah. There you go. Straight up, but it's replaceable, which is nice. Liking that. A lot of these expensive radios coming out sometimes don't have replaceable batteries. So, thank you. I know the ESP2 is a little bit more difficult to change because that one uses a flat pack. This one doesn't. I'm glad to see a standard battery being utilized. So we'll talk about different reception reports, and then we'll turn the radio on and have some fun, explore the bands, do some audio demo and everything else. So let's talk about FM. I like to rate these FM on a 5-tier method fare. Okay, good, very good, excellent. This scored a solid 4-star rating in sensitivity. It got a very good to excellent rating. I guess I'd be 4.5 star. Absolutely amazing on FM. It found 80 stations in my area. As you know, the best is usually around 90, 95 in my area. So I was very impressed with the FM reception on this radio. So yeah, very good to excellent rating. And selectivity, I give it a very good as well. I was picking up stations right next to strong stations. Absolutely fabulous on selectivity using just the whip antenna there. Not excluding any kind of dipole you could hook up to the side antenna jack there. Awesome. Which I will be using an active loop tonight to see how the FM works. It should come in pretty good. Hopefully. I'm downstairs, a subfloor basement. Sometimes my FM doesn't come in fantastic. But okay, what else? Daytime medium wave. You're using the telescopic typically when you're portable with it. I expect good on locals mainly. You'll pick up some semi-locals, but not the greatest. And you do have to turn that screen off sometimes to avoid noise. So just keep in mind that if you hook up like a Turk Advantage passive loop or an active loop, you're going to get much better reception versus using the telescopic. There is no internal ferrite, unfortunately, with this radio. I wish there was, but there is not. Daytime. So let's see. Daytime airband. Awesome. Very sensitive radio. I don't have a lot set up with this on the airband, but when I was using it with the scanner, it was picking with the Squelch activated, same as my Bearcat scanner. It was like identical. Same pickup time, same release time on the Squelch. It was great. I couldn't believe that. Except it doesn't scan like a scanner does. Unfortunately, you have to manually go through your presets. So what else? Daytime shortwave. It's average. That's pretty much solar conditions. Be it as it may, I found about 10 to 12 stations, which is pretty average for a shortwave radio. It could have found more if I explored more of the shortwave handbands. There was digital modes and things that it was passing up on its browse. Another thing they could have implemented better on this radio is a browse feature. I'm not a fan of how they have it set up. You actually have to initiate it through a menu choice to do a browse. Otherwise, it's manually the whole time. It is such a hassle. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Seek tuning, it's not good. Again, they could have maybe have extra buttons for it too. I don't know. It would have been nice. But it's a light version, so we get what we get. So let's go ahead and turn it on and have some fun. So let's hit the power button. So slider up on top. And did I turn it on? Oh, not all the way. See, that's great. Okay, so we're going to put something behind here so we can read what's going on. We've got the Malhat team. Now it's running us firmware 1.2. I don't know what if you can update this or not. It's one of those Russian firmwares that we see quite often. There we are. We're up an antenna. I'm using a Toshiba GA800 off to the side here. I'm just going to plug in the side here. We get some reception. All right, so we're in the FM band, as you can see. Bring it down here. Spectrum. It's pretty awesome. I love this. It's active, and you can change it to that response, like I was telling you. But here we are, 97.7 frequency. It's wide FM. Current time is midnight. It looks like 12 minutes after. We have our headphone speaker mode enabled, and then we have battery status. I believe it's RDS information. Then here we have our spectrum display, and we're centered on the carrier frequency. There you are. Nice. So we'll just, let's see what we got going on. Turn on the FM transmitter. There we are. FM transmitter is engaged. And I'm going to play some music, royalty-free, from YouTube. Let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll go right to Cruising the Bands. Volume, press in. There we go. Adjust my line level on my transmitter. There we go, we get the idea, right? Awesome. We have a lot of bands to cover, so I'm going to go ahead and just stop right there. Go ahead and pause it, turn off my FM transmitter. Yeah, I was using a C-Crane FM Transmitter 3. These are really handy if you don't have one. Really cool. You can transmit your audio throughout the household. You know, it's kind of a small setup there. It's battery powered too as well, or it comes with a transformer. So not a bad setup. And I was using this little Sony MP3 player to play that music that you're hearing over the airwaves. So yeah, you can transmit anything you want. So let's go ahead. We're going to go right to the shortwave band. So what you do is hit your band button. And as you can see here, it's got the broadcast bands. I don't know if you can read that or not. Hopefully this video will show it. I don't know if I can zooming in, zooming out is going to help it. I don't know. Let's see. There we go. Zooming in helps. All right. So we got long wave. We have medium wave. Now medium wave goes up to 1710, of course, even though it says 1620. And of course, you can change your steppings from 9 kHz to 10 kHz, right? The step menu, very basic. So we have long wave. We use the little encoder here, as you can do. Sometimes it picks up, sometimes it double goes. It's just a weird thing you just have to get used to. But if you go rather quickly, it goes quickly. So these are all your broadcast bands, as you can see there. Going through them all the way up to the top of the band. There you are. Pretty straightforward, right? Yeah. So there we are. We'll go ahead. Go to the next page. We have the amateur bands, and you can see how they're structured there. Yeah, it's got something down in the long wave area there. Does anybody do any amateur on 630 meters? Holy cow. It's pretty awesome. I don't think I've ever tried to search down there before. Okay, CB. You got your 10 meter, and then your 4 meter, and I think 2 meter. There's your 2 meter. Awesome. And then we have, last but not least, the last part is the FM VHF. As you can see, we have the FM band and the airband. Of course, it's fully supported airband, which I love. You don't need a down converter. Rock and roll. So yeah, since we got this up, let's go ahead, pick a band. I'm just going to stay, I think, zoomed in real close like this. I think you can see all the buttons. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead. That's why you can see the menu and everything. So it just makes everything else dark here. Okay, so we're going to hit, actually, I'm just going to go over here. We're going to start out at the bottom. Let's see, right? I'm going to say here. Yeah, because I'm not going to have anything lower than that, I don't think. Yeah, okay, so we'll start here. And we're going to go ahead and hit enter to confirm that choice. There we are. Turn on my active loop. Like I said, I'm using that GA800 Toshiba. And you can pivot the loop around. So it's a tabletop antenna. It's nice. So we're going to just go up, see if we can pick up Canadian frequency. Turn up the volume. There it is. I was going to say it didn't look centered. I guess that's how they get that weird sound. Now it's centered. Oh, it's bouncing side in. You can hear him though. Cool. Noise reduction. Noise reduction is awesome. Alright, so let's enter frequency. We're here with 4840. I think kilohertz is 8. Okay, so I gotta mute it. This is Worldwide Country Radio, WWCR. Which actually means Worldwide Christian Radio, but at midnight they do play country music, which is awesome. As you can see, the spectrum very cool. And you can change that with the visual button here. And you can change the average for on the 3 there. Let's show you. I'll turn it all the way up. You can see it gets really slow here. So let's go ahead and exit this. So return with the D button. And see now it's like barely moving the spectrum. I don't know if you can see it's barely moving there. See how it's just barely slowly responding. Not the greatest, but it's okay. But let's go ahead and go back to the setting, like 80, I think is what I like. So we'll go back to visual. Yeah, screen is bright. Now in person, the screen isn't too bad. It's just my camera has a hard time adjusting. So we'll bring that back down to say around 82, return. And it's more reactive now. So there you go. Alright, go past it. Turn off noise reduction. Data mode. There's WWV right there, 5 megahertz. Nice. Step mode.
At the tone, 6 hours, 21 minutes. Coordinated universal time.
So I wanted 5 kilohertz. I noticed it wasn't doing 5. But that's pretty nice. So the step modes, as you saw there, for AM is 100 hertz up to 10 kilohertz. When we have single sideband, you get more choices, which we're going to pick up a few hams here in a second. Alright, so that return. There's Cuba. Typically not the best for music with noise reduction. There's NR for noise reduction. Okay, let's keep going. And then we'll hit some hams real quick. Not sure what else we're going to find. You can go quicker. And it really moves, as you can see. I'm not sure what's around here.
Great longevity product like, for example, medicinal mushroom or herbs like moringa or asparagus. Now you won the medal with asparagus. And even because of the butter, which is in chocolate, you can even increase the benefit of another product you put there. It means that you are not eating just chocolate or medicinal mushroom, you put it together and you can multiply the benefit of these 2 products. So we just like to use this chocolate functionally. If we can, we would produce just this.
Get the idea. Noise reduction in action. Adjusting threshold.
Speech, it caused him to yield to the flattering of her lips. He cometh after straightway as an ox cometh to the slaughter, or as a fool to the...
I will encourage those who are ministers who listen to me and correct the erroneous idea. You know, when you watch religious TV, you know how they always have that tight shot of the person that's worshiping and tears are coming down their face? And you wonder, it's not for anyone to judge, you wonder, A, who would be so perverted as to take a close-up of that? That's a very personal moment. But is that exactly the sign of repentance?
Okay, ham radio activity. I see some guys talking there. They're talking here too.
Yeah, but that's not the only place you hunt, though, right? For now, I see it coming. Unfortunately, I see it coming to sometime in the next 2 years, but I don't. I'm glad you took that for me because I know it's kept up with it, and I more back in the late 90s. 2023.
A weak signal here, but back. Conversation over here.
That way you could...
Pretty as the wife can't hunt yours no more in the future?
Before me?
Yeah, you said you saw hunting on your property coming to a close.
No, not hunting on my property. Hunting up in the Upper Peninsula, where we go every year. Deer camp. I see deer camp coming. They're not certain if they going to do it anymore. Ain't that right, Randy?
Yeah, it was suspended in October 23. The last issue was October of 23.
Now we're using
amateur radios are included within the legislation subtitle D, section 671, known as the 21st Century Emergency Communications Act. Radio amateurs are among the entries within which original emergency communications coordination working group, RECC, must coordinate its activities if they're needed, you know. Anyhow, let's see, measures make amateur radio part.
So that's the external Bluetooth. So as you saw there, the Bluetooth light kicked down when it, yeah, found it. That's awesome. So I just wanted to show you that. Bluetooth, yeah, I'm just zooming on down close again. All right, let's go ahead. What else we gotta do? We gotta do medium wave and stuff, but as you can hear, these pick up the hams real nice. You can just see it right there on the spectrum. Like I said, you only get this bit of window. You can't adjust the width of it, unfortunately. It only samples so much, but you know, it's enough when you're on these bands. So definitely having fun with this. Speaker mode, speaker headphone, and of course press hold for muting. Yeah, this is great, enjoyable.
Project outside involving, an antenna or whatever. She always tries to stick her 2 cents worth in, and I'm not very diplomatic sometimes, John, if you know what I mean. Over.
Cool. All right, so we're gonna mute this. As you saw with the channel memory, you get 50 presets per page. You get 10 pages, and yeah, you just hit the 8 to get the channel memory. As you can see, I named hams 80 here. Zoom on a little closer. Hopefully it picks it up. Trying to get it so it can read it. As you can see, these two memories, I didn't name them. Just call them memory 1, memory 2. Those are 2 airbands. We got Todd Rock. That's me, of course. WWCR, of course, go right to that. And then we got 40 meter ham up there. We could just check that out real quick, and then we'll go through more here. So let's go ahead and hit that, because I'm not going to find anything on the airband at night in my area. The planes are all usually grounded. So hit enter. It looks like there's some talking going on. Oh, look at that guy. That's a strong signal. Wow. Let's find out what's going on there. Mute.
Victoria again. Sorry about that. Italy 91, Victoria again.
Astoria X3 Delta. Thank you. November 8, Ontario. Your report is 5 by 555. And my name Victor. How copy in Italy?
I'll pick it up Italy, but that'd be cool.
On the antenna and just choose both because I'm calling CQ, but I'll just wait for the first. Hopefully I'll get them in the log, but whether they'll be active or not remains to be seen. Alpha Hotel, located in Trinidad, West Indies, calling CQ here.
Okay, a lot of fun. Let's zip out of here. Let's go check out the medium wave. All right, so we'll just hit the band. We're in the broadcast band. We'll go up here and we'll just enter to select our long wave, medium wave. That were medium wave. All right, nothing on long wave in my area, guys. Otherwise, I'd show you. All right, medium wave. A lot going on here. Frequency set. We will go 530, and then we'll hit kilohertz, which is takes us down to 530. Again, using scissor antenna. I think that's, I think we're on 50 ohm, or no, we're on high Z. I think we're on high Z. All right, we can just check that by the radio setting. I was trying to show you guys that there's high Z for the type of input. Bias T and disabled, we're not going to enable that. Attenuation for shortwave, disabled, you get the idea. And I was trying to show you guys the different things you can do. There's the browse. I'm having a manual right now. I'm going to stick with manual tuning. Browse. It just, when you go browse, just keeps going. It doesn't stop. And then when you try to stop it, it goes the other way. So it's very annoying. You can set the date and time of 2 as well. Yeah, if you saw current time, it is midnight and it is 12:30 right now. We're almost through with the band scan. We'll do final thoughts in a moment. But yeah, it's Central Standard Time near Chicago, Illinois, USA. Forgot to mention that, but probably have a pop-up for that. But there you go. So much about this radio, so much depth to this radio that it just makes it so much fun. I mean, guys, it's just absolutely amazing for the money. I mean, just to have the Bluetooth transmit, hello, and it sounds good. Real happy with that. So let's exit this, and yeah, let's go in the AM band here.
To get you the lowest possible settlement, but nothing changes until you take the first step. Schedule your free consultation today and finally understand your options. Call 262-786-4442. That's 262-786-4442 or visit CPT Strategy.
Yeah, sometimes it'll skip, sometimes it won't register. Patience.
Chance to get up and get dressed up and go out, right? MusicCityMasquerade.com for all the info and for tickets if you want to go. Proudly sponsored by WSM Radio.
Wake up every weekday morning with Coffee, Country, and Coke. Join Bill Cody, Kelly Sutton, and Charlie Mattos as they bring you...
4910 is the number. I think this is all fascinating. I do. Because I think what Corey said was spot on in my opinion.
Who share remarkable safety records and demonstrate superior driving skills.
Estimated arrival time, never. Of Inside Georgia Real Estate on WSB. This is a huge opportunity.
For support of the fine folks from Petro Shopping Centers. This trip by...
All of the top stories and breaking news from Chicago, the suburbs, and the world. Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 1059 WBBM.
I can't help it. 9 o'clock on a Saturday. Sure, saving children. Learn more at St. Jude.
The best words to hear at the TSA security checkpoint? You're good to go. All it takes is a little preparation.
Well, as you can see, yeah, it's pretty nice. I'm just using, again, the GA800. The Turk Advantage is much better, has a lower noise floor and more gain. So if you have one of those, awesome. Or Texan AN200 will work great. But the GA800 is nice because I don't have to keep disconnecting different antennas. I can go from shortwave to medium wave to FM, which I like. It's quite awesome. So we'll go to FM real quick, and then we'll go final thoughts. So let's go ahead and access FM. We turn off the active feature on my antenna because FM doesn't require it. And we'll enter here, go to our broadcast, band mode, 0. Oh, there's the, wanted to show you real quick. Let's exit that. So if you go 9, disabled, display, 9 to bring it back. Okay, that's if you're using the telescopic and you get noise, you'll use that. All right, so let's go ahead, bands, and we're gonna use these forward and back buttons, and we're gonna go to FM and enter. Okay, there we are. So I guess I'll go to the bottom of the band. Frequency set, so we have to go, like, say 88.5. We'll do that. 5, and then we gotta go megahertz, B. Okay, and then we're on something there. Okay, we'll just scroll up here a little bit and do final thoughts. I'll end this out, so unmute. Volume's kind of quiet.
So I'm like, oh my God, she's pointing at me. Now I'd had dreams. I had people come up to me after Mass. Usually there's always an older woman, an old lady from the parish. You ever thought about being a priest? No, I had dates in high school and I'm fine. I had no concept of what the priest is.
Let's turn this down. Unplug the antenna, plug it back in. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I walked up to the...
And the more mid-level officials have been targeted. Rediscovered every time.
RDS information on the bottom.
And the armed forces of...
Awesome. Cool. It's jamming. It's doing pretty good for just a passive loop sitting here. Because it's power's off to it. Awesome song.
God of Abraham, you're the God.
Starting at 10 a.m. and again at 3 p.m.
100 minutes, non-stop throwbacks to give you more time to zone in or zone out.
We can't fix your job.
Zone in and zone out. That's awesome. So browse or the scan feature, I'll show it to you guys real quick because you probably want to see that, and then we'll do final thoughts. Let's see here. We got radio set. Now, if you look here, it says WFM, wide FM tuning, and we have AM tuning. So we're going to go to wide FM scanning mode. That's what you have to do to get into the browse mode. That's how you have to do it. I tried to figure it out. That's it. And do this, and then let it go. It's passing up a ton of stations.
100%, man. I appreciate the
It passed a ton, so we're going to go back to manual.
That's coming from a guy that had to make the decision. A guy that has made the decision, but he did.
There's a station. Not greatest, but it passed them. They're there.
Only going up here, and
that's a strong station. Wow.
Glamping and some of the other
So yeah, here we are, 106.7, and as you can see the RDS information there. I'll put that in. Oh, my hand here helps. All right, cool. I guess we'll stop right there. Let's go ahead and zoom this up, and we'll do final thoughts on the MLite-880. Yeah. It was quite a long video. If you guys are still here after 45 minutes, great. You guys rock on. You might want this radio. Who knows? I don't know. Hope you do, because you get a lot for the money. I mean, 180, this thing's fantastic for 180. The noise reduction alone on the shortwave bands, holy cow, you saw how fun it is. And plus, yes, this does change a little bit. I noticed it narrowed a little bit as we went up higher in the shortwave band. Very handy there. I noticed that. So overall opinion on this radio, what do I like, dislike, and yeah, my final opinion. So likes, it's affordable, portable SDR, versus the DSP2. It's absolutely amazing. Under $200. It's amazing. 500 presets, which you can name. Fantastic as well. I love being able to name my presets. And it even shows the frequency of the preset, which is just fantastic. Just, you know exactly where you're going, and you can set up pages how you want to. You can have mixed different things, as you saw at Airband with the shortwave, broadcast or amateur bands, all mixed together. So you can set up your pages how you want to. Very customizable, and 50 presets per page is quite a bit. So yeah, 500 is enough. Great on external antennas, love it. 50 ohm, high Z, built into the radio, bias T power if you need it. Again, bias T power means it uses the battery power from the radio to send juice to the antenna. So typically you don't need that, but some antennas do require it. Spectrum display, I love this spectrum display. It looks good, and it responds, and you can see what's going on ahead of you and below you. You can see the activity, which is nice, and you go right to it and be right on those guys talking. That just makes it fun on shortwave. Proper steppings, a lot of them. I never showed you guys the Airband steppings, so we just do that real quick. Let me enter my bands. Whoops. So we're going to go to the Airband and just show you that the proper steppings are there. So we're going to hit zip it down here again. Okay, so we're going to hit enter to enter this, and then you're going to see the steppings. When I hit here for Airband, you'll notice that there's 8.3 and 6.2. Awesome. We're going to go to, we'll just return there. We're going to go to the bands again. We're going to go to the 2 meter. So we're going to go over to the amateur bands, all the way down to 2 meter. So you guys can see the steppings on 2 meter. And we'll go ahead and hit enter here. Steppings. And as you can see, you have 100 hertz, 25 kilohertz, but you also have the in between 6.2 and 12.5. Those are important right there because a lot of your frequencies fall in those ranges as well on 2 meters. So you'll have the full coverage of 2 meter. So there it is. Awesome. Just want to make sure I show that to you guys. So let's return. Okay, I'll zoom it back up. So go over my final thoughts here. More likes, proper steppings like I mentioned. Bluetooth send. Wow. Okay, that was nice using my Ratty as external speaker because this speaker is nice. It's a good sounding speaker. A lot of bass to it. This isn't bad as well. This is a good speaker here, but if you want to go bigger, you could definitely have a setup for that, or headphones, wireless headphones. Fantastic. Bias T power, like I mentioned, the high Z circuit. Simple controls. It's just so simple. It really is nice. Everything's labeled. You really don't need a manual. You can just look at this and kind of figure it out, except for maybe adding channel memories. It's pretty much add channel memory. You have to make sure to use this to initiate the enter to go ahead and add them. So asterisk's your friend. Remember that on the memories. And when you go to name them, you have to use the asterisk as well. So it's just what it is. But overall, this thing's very straightforward. It's all right there. Everything's very simple. It even tells you to go A and B for the different pages. So yeah, I like that. Squelch function, great. Noise reduction is probably one of the biggest selling features of this radio. Boom. I mean, you heard it. Awesome. Replaceable 21700, another nice selling feature, which you guys will love. Compact size. This size is very compact. See, my hand covers it. I can pick it up no problem with one hand. It's not huge. It's just the right size for a radio. Perfect. And it's just enough size to do what it's doing. So yeah, I think that's mostly covered what I liked about the radio. So dislikes and wants. Well, the ability to turn that screen light off. You got 5 seconds to 300 seconds or always on, but no always off. It would be nice to have always off there. I wish there was no soft touch plastic, so it's just regular plastic. Just me, because maybe this gets funky over time. That'd be a bummer. You know, if you go to clean it up and then you took off your printing, that'd be a problem. But it's something to think about. If you like this radio, maybe you buy a second one in the future. It's something to think about. An investment. Record feature is cumbersome. I don't like using it. You may figure it out, but it is right now with the current firmware, it's not spectacular. It's okay. I wish we had a metal tuning knob versus this, and the encoder was a little not so fast and slow. I don't know. It's like sometimes it registers, sometimes it registers double forward. It's just, I know it's a fast, slow thing going on. Again, I'm not a fan of that, but it is what it is. But if this is metal, that'd be nice. Same with the power switch. I wish that was metal. Overall, it's a great low-cost SDR alternative. I can say that to the DSP2. Fantastic for the value. It's perfect for the avid and casual listener. I'm avid, so I love it. So you could say recommended buy from Todderbert all day long. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give a big like if you did. 2, if you like more of these reviews, want to see more of this radio, subscribe, hit the bell icon, get notified. And 3, comment down below what you think about the MLite-880 SDR radio. Is it for you? Would you like to have one? Let me know down below. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next awesome video.